Yes, indeed. Hello, I'm Alexander Armstrong, and welcome to Pointless, the show where we are always striving to find the most obscure answers. Let's meet today's players. And couple number one.
Hello, I'm Lawrence. This is my daughter Louise, and we're from Folkestone.
Couple number two.
Hello, my name is Alex. This is my partner John, and we are from London.
Couple number three.
Hi, I'm Sam. This is my sister-in-law Ellie, and we're from Derby.
And finally, couple number four.
Hi, I'm Jim, and this is my brother-in-law Chris, and we both live in Sheffield.
And these are today's contestants. Thank you very much, all of you. Very warm welcome to Pointless. Wonderful to have you with us. That just leaves one more person for me to introduce. Grabbing ignorance, throwing it in the boot of the car, driving it to a warehouse on the outskirts of town for a surprise party. It's my Pointless friend. It's Richard.
Hiya. Hey, everybody. Good afternoon. Hey.
Yes.
How are you?
Oh, you know, always the same.
Sam and Ellie are back.
Yes, I know.
Which is good.
Well,
it's sort of good. Sam is very
nearly due
to give birth,
Yeah.
but she hasn't. She did not give birth since the last show. Well, you'd have told us, right?
Definitely.
Also, welcome back to Jonathan and Alex. Neither of whom have had a baby since the last show either.
No, we barely saw them last time.
Knocked out in round one. Knocked out in round one. Sam and Ellie got all the way through to the head-to-head. Jim and Chris look like they mean business, don't you think?
Don't they?
Podium four. They got that podium four quizzer thing going on.
Yes.
I may be wrong, but, you know, they may be awful. But do they look like they're going to be good?
They do.
Yeah.
Brothers-in-law, Sheffield.
Oh, we're having it all adds up.
Shirts.
Yeah, every single bit of it. Absolutely textbook.
There we go. And Louise and Lawrence.
Lovely to have them here.
Alliterative.
Oh, but we're going to be talking to them very quickly anyway.
Of course we are.
Yeah,
of course we are. Of course we are. Well, I'm just going to be quick through this next bit.
I would
We'll
love
get
it if you would.
straight on. Malcolm and Jack did not win the jackpot last time, so we're adding another £1,000 to that. So today's jackpot starts off at, look at this, £3,250. It's growing. Right, if everyone's ready, let's play Pointless. Just before we start, I have to make sure you are all aware of this. It is the pair with the highest score at the end of each round that gets eliminated. So keep your scores low and you'll have nothing to worry about. Best of luck to all four pairs. Our first category this afternoon is geography. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and the question concerns towns and cities on the Mediterranean Sea. Richard.
On each board, we're going to show you 7 clues to towns or cities that are on the Med. We'll also give you the initials of those towns and cities as well, but what are they?
I'm already loving this.
Or is it your sort of thing?
Well, no, it's just nice. Just
Little trip round the Med.
little trip round the Med.
Nice cruise.
Yeah.
14 places.
Yes. To have a go at home. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, lovely.
Nice. Anyway, thanks very much. OK, let's reveal our first board of clues. Here they come. We have got French location of an annual film festival, which awards the Palme d'Or. C. Capital of Algeria, which was captured in 1516 by the Barbarossa pirates. A. Spanish port on the Costa del Sol and the birthplace of artist Picasso. M. Situated on the island of Sardinia and also known as Castedeu, literally meaning castle. C. The host city of the 2019 Eurovision Song Contest. T.A. A Menorcan port, thought by some to be where mayonnaise was first created. M. And situated on the western edge of the Nile River Delta. A. I'm going to read them all again. French location of an annual film festival which awards the Palme d'Or. C. Capital of Algeria, which was captured in 1516 by the Barbarossa pirates. A. Spanish port on the Costa del Sol and the birthplace of artist Picasso. M. Situated on the island of Sardinia, also known as Castedeu, literally meaning castle. C. The host city of the 2019 Eurovision Song Contest. T.A. A Menorcan port, thought by some to be where mayonnaise was first created. M. And situated on the western edge of the Nile River Delta. A. There we are. Lawrence, welcome. Tell us all about yourself, Lawrence.
I work in the ventilation industry as a technical sales manager. Recently taken over at my local cricket club as the chairman.
So that's an onerous task, I should think. What does that involve?
Keeping people happy, hopefully avoiding playing on a Saturday afternoon.
OK, you're playing days behind you, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I've given it a go for the last 30-odd years and it's not getting any better, so...
And so the chairmanship beckoned?
Yeah, hopefully I'll be more successful.
Do you have to make speeches to visiting teams?
Not to visiting teams, but end-of-season awards dinner, things of that nature.
Do you have to ting teacups and thank people for tea?
Yes, probably show gratitude to the tea ladies, that sort of thing.
Very important. Now, Lawrence, the Mediterranean. Look at that. There's not one of those that doesn't make me think of lovely things. Even the ones I don't know.
Yeah, not a great board for me for starters, this, I don't think. I'm going to play fairly safe, though, I think, with the top answer and say can.
OK, Lawrence is going to go for can. Let's see how many of our 100 people said can. Can. I didn't even get time to say can. Can, there you go. 93. Ooh, that's high.
That is a big score, isn't it? Surprisingly big. Yeah, can. It's on the Mediterranean, you know.
Is it now?
Yeah.
Exciting stuff. Now, Alex, welcome back.
Thank you.
Oh, it was short-lived, your pointless career last time. Remind us all about yourself, Alex.
So I am a software engineer and I'm working in an investment bank at the moment.
And your interests?
I like writing music in my meantime. I also like dancing as well. So I do some salsa dancing and ballet dancing.
Do you write dance music at all?
Not necessarily.
Not really?
I can write some basic cha-cha music, basic tango, like, 2, 3, cha-cha-cha.
That'd be quite fun, though.
Yeah.
OK, now then, Alex, how are you feeling about this board of Mediterranean towns and cities?
Not great. Geography is not my forte, but I like Eurovision, so I'm going for the host city of the 2019 Eurovision Song Contest, Tel Aviv.
Tel Aviv?
Yeah.
OK, Tel Aviv, says Alex. Let's see how many of our 100 people said that. Tel Aviv. $66 for Tel Aviv. Not bad.
Yes, we came 26th out of 26, didn't we? And we did badly, and then a week later they said, oh, we got your scores wrong, and they reduced it even further.
At least they didn't change our position, though. That's
Yes,
nice.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly that. One day we'll head back up there.
That would be amazing. Now, Sam, welcome back. Great to have you here again. What are your interests, Sam?
I like music, love going to gigs, festivals, things like that.
OK, very good. When you have your baby, will you be one of those people that takes the baby to the festival? Or...
I would like to think so, yeah. Yeah, I love it. I love it's what I spend all my sort of spare money and time doing, so yeah.
Very good indeed. OK, now, Sam, what are you going to go for on our board here?
I'm not actually sure. I don't really know any of them. I think I'm going to have a guess at the bottom one and say Agadir.
Agadir, says Sam. Let's see how many of our 100 people said it, but let's see if it's right. No, I'm afraid not Agadir, Sam. That scores you 100 points.
No, afraid not. Although it's impossible to hear the word Agadir without thinking that push pineapple shake the tree, isn't it?
Yeah. Thank you very much indeed. Now, then, Jim, welcome to Pointless. Good to have you here, Jim. Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I'm now retired after 42 years in the steel industry. So I'm retired and just trying to live the dream now.
And here you are.
Here
Come
I am,
on.
Pointless,
How's the dream going,
Yeah,
Jim?
yeah.
Have you been looked after so far in the dream?
They have
Today's
been
been a dream?
fantastic.
This is
Everybody has
good.
been fantastic. Yes.
This
so
is
thank you
wonderful.
to everybody. Yeah.
What further adventures have you got planned for your retirement, Jim?
Oh, gosh. Well, I'm going to pick up my piano lessons again. I started taking piano lessons, and I've done about 25 or so last year.
Yeah.
That then got interrupted because I had to have a hip operation, so I need to pick that back up.
All that furious pedalling.
Yeah.
Yes. But, yes, now you calm the pedalling down and back on with the piano. But you enjoying it, were you?
Love it,
Making good
yes,
progress?
absolutely love it,
Good
yeah.
for you.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, Jim, you're the last person to have this board. Do you feel like taking us on a trip around the Med?
Ooh,
Filling
that
in
would
all
be
those
good.
places.
Well,
Wouldn't it be nice?
I'll guess a few. I think the capital of Algeria one, is that Algiers? The Spanish port, I should know that, I've no idea. I would guess at the island of Sardinia one as being Castile. But the one I'm going to go for is the Menorcan port, which I think is Marne, M-A-H-O-N.
Marne,
Marne.
says Jim. OK, Marne. Let's see if that's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Marne. It's absolutely right, Jim. 100's our high score, 66 our low. There's a new low score. 20. Very well done.
Yeah, I think we were right about Jim and Chris, weren't we? Yeah. Mahon. Now, situated on the western edge of the Nile River Delta, it is not Agadir, it is...
Alexandria.
Alexandria, yeah, named after Alexander Armstrong from
Pointless.
TV's
They
Pointless.
love Pointless over
They
there, don't they?
love it over there. 19 points for Alexandria. The capital of Algeria is...
Algiers.
Algiers, absolutely right. 41 points for that. Do you know where Picasso was born?
I do, in fact. It's Malaga.
Malaga, he was born, yeah. 33 points for that. And the best answer on the board, this Sardinian place, Cagliari.
Cagliari.
And that would have scored 8 points.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Well, we are halfway through the round. Let's have a look at those scores. 20, the best score of the past. Very well done. Jim and Chris looking very strong at this stage of the game. Then up to 66. Quite a hike up there where we find Alex and Jonathan. 93 is where we find Lawrence and Louise. And then 100, Sam and Ellie. You're in quite good company, though. I mean, Lawrence and Louise, they're only 7 behind you, so it's not too bad. But a nice low score from you, Ellie, and a nice low score from you, Louise, could change everything around. So very best of luck with that. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? OK, let's put 7 more clues to Mediterranean towns and cities on the board, and here they come. We have got Italian Riviera port, which shares its name with a fruitcake. G, on the island of Sicily and home to the Teatro Massimo Opera House. P, the largest city on Crete, near the Minoan site of Knossos. H, this capital was built in the 16th century on the island of Malta. V, on the northwest coast of Libya, this capital city is served by Mitiga Airport. T, Spanish resort, which shares its name with a television comedy starring Tim Healy. B, and this Lebanese city is the birthplace of film star Keanu Reeves. B, I'm going to read those all again. Italian Riviera port, which shares its name with a fruitcake. G, on the island of Sicily and home to Teatro Massimo Opera House. P, the largest city on Crete near the Minoan site of Knossos. H, this capital was built in the 16th century on the island of Malta. V, on the northwest coast of Libya, this capital city is served by Mitiga Airport. T, Spanish resort, which shares its name with the television comedy starring Tim Healy. B, and this Lebanese city is the birthplace of film star Keanu Reeves. B, Chris, welcome to Pointless. Good to have you here. Tell us all about yourself, Chris.
I'm delightfully and happily retired after 38 years working quite hard.
What were you working hard at for those 38
I was
years?
an oral plumber.
A plumber?
No, an oral plumber.
Oral?
Yes, a dentist.
I've got it.
Yes.
I've got it.
Sorry.
It took me a long time to work that way. That's good. Chris, so that's a lot of mouths. That's a lot of teeth.
A lot, yes.
Oh, dear. Did dentistry change over the time you...
Oh, dramatically. Which is why I retired.
Really? It's no more fun. The drill bits got smaller.
Oh, exactly.
They hurt less.
Yeah,
Where's the
yes.
fun in that?
Oh, yes. All
Yeah.
the fun went out of it.
Yes. So with your delightful retirement, Chris, what are you doing? What are you up to?
I like eating, drinking and cooking.
Surely that's the wrong order. Drinking, cooking and
Well,
eating.
no, you eat first and drink with it, and then you try and cook what you've eaten.
Chris, there you are on 20. If you can score 79 or less, you're through to round 2. What are you going to go for?
Well, I think I'm actually going to go for the second one down on the island of Sicily, because I'm fairly sure that's Palermo.
Palermo, the Teatro Massimo Opera House. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Palermo. There's your red line, Chris. If you can get below that, you are through to round 2. Palermo. Palermo is right, and you are into round 2. Very well done indeed, Chris. 33. 53 your total.
Very well played. Chris, yeah, the final scene of Godfather 3, that's the opera house that scene is filmed in.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Ellie, welcome back. Remind us all about yourself, Ellie.
So I'm a manufacturing engineer, designing aeroplane engines at Rolls-Royce.
It's just, everything about that is exciting. Last time we discussed your hobby, which is riding down mountains at full speed.
Correct, yeah.
On bikes.
Yep.
Do you have to have a special kind of mountain bike for that? I guess you have to have front suspension as well as rear suspension.
Yeah, it's pretty much more like a motorbike suspension. Than
And so massive, broad tyres, presumably.
Yeah, really thick tyres, yeah.
How did you discover this sport, Ellie? I'm intrigued. It does sound like madness.
Well, I snapped my knee at judo originally, and the surgeon said to take up cycling. but I don't think he quite had the same cycling as I had in mind. And then we went to the World Cup at Fort William, watched it and was in awe of it, and then just thought, oh, I'll have a go. And it's kind of escalated.
Yeah, and how? And you now win.
Yeah.
You've been a champion biking downhill person. Amazing.
Something like
Now, Ellie, you're the high scorers at the moment. What we need from you here is a really good low score. It's going to be between you and Louise, I suspect.
Yeah. I think I know a few, but I was trying to work out which one might be the lowest. But I'm going to take a bit of a punt, and I think the northwest coast of Libya, I think it's Tripoli.
You're going to go for Tripoli?
Yeah.
OK, no red line. You're the high scorers. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Tripoli. It is Tripoli. Down it goes to 27. 127 is your total there. You might have done yourself enough there.
Yeah, 1 capital city is Seoul, 2 capital cities is Dublin, and 3 capital cities is Tripoli. I
just made that
literally
up.
just thought of that.
That's
so,
really
come
good.
on.
No, that's good.
I mean, come now.
Yeah, Dublin
Yeah.
I particularly like.
Thank
That's
you.
good. Dublin.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'll think of a 4th one as well. That'll
Yeah.
shut you up.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Jonathan, welcome back. Remind us all about yourself, Jonathan.
So I'm a composer and PhD student alongside other lots of odd jobs. I'm currently writing a piece for the London Symphony Orchestra.
Now, that's very exciting. Did they come to you and commission it?
Yeah, well, I'm part of the Young Composers Scheme. So I've been sort of anointed and now luckily get to write them a piece.
See, that is very exciting, because I was going to ask you this last time. We discovered that Jonathan was a composer. And I was thinking, well, what as a composer do you do, unless you sort of go out commercially and find sort of musical theatre or things like that to do? Do you approach ensembles and say, how's about it? I could write you something, or...
Pretty much. I mean, you try to get into a position where they approach you. So if you
Yeah.
can just put your music in front of as many people as possible, then hopefully some will be interested in working with you.
That's absolutely fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. Now, Jonathan, there you are, 66. 60 or less keeps you in the game.
Yeah, that might be a tall order. I'm a big opera buff. Unfortunately, the Opera House option is gone. And so rather than take a punt, I'm going to go with the one I definitely know. I'm going to go for Benidorm, the Spanish resort.
OK, yes, Benidorm. Let's see if that's right. Here's your red line. You've got to get below that with Benidorm. Can you do it? Let's find out. Ooh, 76. That's a high score there. Takes your total up to 142.
It does make up for last time, though, when Jonathan got a very, very low score.
Did.
And Addict's got a very high score, which is... that's something, isn't it? Yeah, won 2 National Television Awards, Benidorm.
Thank you very much, Richard. Louise, welcome. Lovely to have you here, Louise. Tell us all about yourself.
Well, I work as a secretary at a local building firm. And in my spare time, most of it is taken up with studying at the moment.
What are you studying?
To be a ballroom dance teacher.
Oh, for goodness sake. But that's amazing. That's huge fun, isn't it?
It's so much fun.
So you've gone through ballroom dancing
Yes.
as a pupil?
Yes, I started when I was 10.
Wow.
It was my birthday present. 10 lessons.
10 lessons?
And then I turned around on the 10th one and said, I'd like to carry on, please, Mum and Dad.
How nice. And they supported you all the way?
Yep.
But when you started, was Strictly going then?
I think it was the second series.
I see. So
I
you
started.
were sort of catching that wave
Yes,
of sort of
yes,
the
very
new
much,
mania for ballroom dancing. Well, how exciting. Good for you. That's brilliant. Now, 93 is your score currently. 48 or less keeps you in the game.
Okay.
How are you feeling about this board?
Not too fabulous.
OK. I mean, do you feel like just going through it and...
Not really, no.
No?
Benidorm was the only one that I knew for sure. There's only one other. See, I've been to Crete, and I know a place beginning with H. I don't know if it's the largest city, but it's the name of the airport. So I'm going to go for the largest city as Heraklion.
Heraklion,
Yeah.
says Louise. Well, here is your red line. Let's see if you can get below that with Heraklion. How many people said it? It's right. And it gets you through. Very well done indeed. Down it goes to 26. Take your total up to 119.
Well played, Louise. Lovely way to end the round. Terrific stuff. Let's fill the board in the Italian Riviera port.
Which shares its name with the fruitcake. Oh, I just can't think of this one. I know it.
Well, Genoa.
Oh, yeah, I do. Yes.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go, yes.
50 points for that. Capital of Malta?
Valletta.
Valletta.
I know.
Lovely, 57 points for Valletta. And the Lebanese city,
Is
capital of Lebanon?
Beirut.
Beirut, yeah. 40 points for the best answer on the board was Heracline. Very well played.
Thank you very much indeed. Well, we're at the end of our first round, which means we have to say goodbye to one of our pairs. Oh, this just isn't fair. Jonathan and Alex, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. There we are. We've got to say goodbye to you again. First round for the second time. But I know there was a great deal of untapped quiz expertise there that we never got around to seeing. Thank you so much for playing. Jonathan and Alex, wonderful contestants. But for the remaining three pairs, it is now time for round two. There we are, down to three pairs. Here we are, into the second round of Pointless. Jim, well done. You are the lowest individual scorer in that round. Jim and Chris, in fact, the lowest combined scorers. But well done, everybody. And well done, Louise, finding that brilliant answer at the last minute there. Our category for round two this afternoon is soap operas. Can you all decide in your pairs who's going to go first, who's going to go second? And whoever's going first, please step up to the podium. OK, and our question concerns Coronation Street surnames. Richard.
Yes, in a moment, we're going to show you 6 first names. We want you to tell us any surname by which any of these characters have ever been known, please. So married names, maiden names, any other names they were known by. So the surnames that would fit with any of these 6 characters, please.
These names are going to stay up for the whole round, these 6 first names. You just have to throw out surnames that attach to one or more of these names. Let's see what those first names are. We have got Alma, Deirdre, Emily, Gail, Rita, Sally. I'm going to read them all again. Alma, Deirdre, Emily, Gail, Rita, Sally. OK, Louise, do you watch Corrie?
No. Not a big soap person, really. I know a family in Coronation Street. I don't know if it goes with any of them.
Give it a whirl.
I'm going to go for Webster.
Webster,
Yeah.
says Louise. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Webster, if it's right. It's right. 46 for Webster. Not bad, Louise.
Yeah, that's handy if you knew one. Well done, yeah. Sally Webster. That was when she married Kevin Webster.
That's nice. Very nice. Thank you very much indeed. Sam. Do you watch Corrie?
Nope.
Oh, no. Do you know, there are so many people who come on Pointless for whom this would just be the dream round.
OK, I do know some of their surnames, though. I'm going to go for Deirdre Rashid.
Rashid, says Sam. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Rashid. Rashid is right. 46 is the only score we have, and you pass it. Down to 12. Very well done indeed. 12 for Rashid.
Yeah, that was Deirdre's third husband, Samir Rashid. She met him on holiday in Morocco. And there was all sorts of trouble after that. Goodness me. I mean, no spoilers in case you haven't watched the box set.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, Chris.
Horror round. I can honestly say I've never seen an episode of Coronation Street. One name that comes to mind, and I don't know if it's right, is Battersby.
Battersby.
Yes. Don't know where it's come from.
OK, let's see if it's right. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Battersby. No. Good name, though, Chris.
Good name. Yeah.
Good name. I'm sorry, in this
I'll
instance...
change mine to that.
Not the... not a correct answer. 100 points.
Yeah, there was a Battersby family. Leanne, Janice and Les were all Battersbys, but no one on that list, I'm afraid.
No. OK, well, thank you. We're halfway through the round. Let's have a look at those scores. 12, Sam. Best score of the past. Very well done indeed. Then up to 46, where we find Louise and Lawrence. Then up to 100, where we find Chris and Jim. Do you watch Corrie, Jim?
I have watched it, yeah.
OK.
The last time I watched it, Dennis Tanner was just leaving home. So.
Right. OK, well, good luck. We're going to come back down the line now. Will the second players please step up to the podium? So, yes, Jim, we're looking for any surname held by any of these Coronation Street characters. There are the first names there.
Right.
You're going to need a nice low score here.
Absolutely no idea, so I'll guess Brown.
Brown. In many, many instances, that has come riding to the rescue of floundering contestants.
Yeah.
Let's see if it will on this occasion. Brown. No red line for you. You're the high scorers. How many people said Brown? Bad luck, Jim. I'm sorry. The 200 Club beckons, though. That's exciting. There we are, yes. 100 points for that.
Absolutely worth a go, yeah. There's a Chesney Brown, but no one on that board.
Thank you very much, Richard. Now then, Ellie. Listen, I've got good news for you. You're through to the next round. Doesn't matter what you score here.
Yeah, I've also never watched Coronation Street, other than when my friend was an extra in it.
So
and he was none of those people. But the only person I know is Deirdre Barlow.
OK, Barlow, says Ellie. Barlow. No red line, you're already through. How many people said Barlow? It's right. 77, but who cares? You're already through. Takes your total up to 89.
Yeah, she married Ken Barlow twice, Deirdre. Oh, she's been through a lot, hasn't she?
Thank you very much, Richard. Now, Lawrence, again, you're also already through, which is good news. What are you going to go for?
I had a phase about 2 years during the 90s where I watched Coronation Street. And I think I remember a character called Alma Sedgwick.
Sedgwick, you're going to go for. No red line, you're already through. How many people said Sedgwick? It's right. And down it goes. Look at that, down to 2, Lawrence. You're like some kind of Coronation Street expert. 48 is your total. Very well done.
Well played, Lawrence. You were Sedgwick when she first appeared on the street. Very, very good answer. And now, if you're a Corrie expert at home, I'm going to take you through all the low scorers. There's a couple of pointless answers, one of whom is Alma. Alma Halliwell was her one of her names, and Alma Baldwin, biggest scorer there, 18. Deirdre, there's 2 other names, Hunt for 3 and Langton for 6. Emily, you would have got 1 for Emily Swain, 8 for Nugent, and 34 for Bishop. Now, Gail. 2 for Potter, 3 for Rodwell, 3 for McIntyre, 4 for Hillman, 24 for Tilsley, and 45 for Platt. Rita, you would have got pointless answer for Rita Bates. 1 for Littlewood, 5 for Tanner, 15 for Sullivan, and 16 for Fairclough. And Sally Webster, we've had already, 1 for Seddon and 9 for Metcalfe.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So here we are at the end of our second round. Jim and Chris, our newest members of the 200 Club, it's to you we must say goodbye. You'll be back next time, and I have every hope you'll do much, much better then. But meantime, thanks very much, Jim and Chris.
Thank you.
But for the remaining 2 pairs, it's now time for the head-to-head. Very well done, Louise and Lawrence, Sam and Ellie. You are now 1 step closer to the final and a chance to play for that jackpot, which currently stands at £3,250. You can now start playing as a pair, and you can chat before you give your answers. First pair to win 2 questions will be playing for that jackpot. Well, look at this.
It's nice to have Sam and Ellie back in the head-to-head.
Back in the head-to-head.
I worry we've had Sam on her feet for quite a long time now over 2 shows.
Yeah. Everything all right, Sam? Everything
Yeah,
okay?
so far, so
good.
good.
So far, so good.
I was going to say, let us know if it's not, but I think you would. I think we know. I think we know.
I think so.
If Sam went into labour, there'd be signs. We'd find out.
I think so. Anyway, listen, very, very best of luck to both pairs. Let's play the head-to-head. Here is your first question, and it concerns famous birds. Famous birds, Richard.
Yes, 5 pictures now of people who have bird as part of their name or their nickname. Can you identify one of these 5, please?
Thank you very much. OK, let's reveal our 5 famous birds, and here they are. A. B. C. D. And E. There we are. 5 famous birds. Now then, Louise and Lawrence, you're our low scorers. You get to go first.
Going to go with D, Ladybird Johnson.
Ladybird Johnson, say Louise and Lawrence for D. Sam and Ellie, it's over to you. Do you fancy talking us through the rest of that board?
Not really. We're struggling a bit, but we think C is the guy from the In-Betweeners, and we think he's called Simon Bird.
Simon Bird, you're going to say for C. So we have Ladybird Johnson and we have Simon Bird. Louise and Lawrence said Ladybird Johnson for D. Let's see how many of our 100 people got that. Ladybird Johnson. That's right. That's a good answer. Down goes Ladybird Johnson to 9. Very well done. Sam and Ellie, meanwhile, have gone for Simon Bird for C. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Simon Bird. Simon Bird is right. 9's what you've got to beat. Oh, 24 for Simon Bird. Well done, Louise and Lawrence. After one question, you are up 1-0.
Yeah, it's a very good answer. There's an answer there that would have beaten it, however, not E. E is Dickie Bird. He's the biggest scorer up there. Dickie Bird would have scored you 49 points. And B is, of
John
course,
Bird.
John Bird, the actor and satirist. 20 points for John Bird. But this top answer, now every single person in Scotland is screaming this answer at the screen. She's presented the nightly news in Scotland for 30-odd years. I was filming up in Glasgow when she announced she was retiring. I've never seen anything like it. The whole building just in chaos at this news. But 8 points for Jackie Bird. Pretty much the most famous person in Scotland, I would say.
Thank you, Richard. OK, now here comes your second question. Sam and Ellie, you have to win this one to stay in the game. Best of luck. Our second question today is all about events in the month of the first moon landing. Richard.
Yeah, we're going to show you 5 clues now relating to events that happened in that same month. So while the moon landing was going on, these other 5 things were as well.
Thank you very much indeed. So let's reveal our 5 events, and here they come. Castle in which Prince Charles was invested as Prince of Wales, 1st of July. First BBC showing of this sci-fi TV series starring William Shatner, 12th of July. El Salvador invaded this neighbouring country at the start of the football war, 14th of July. Belgian cyclist who won the Tour de France for the first of 5 times, 20th of July. And actress and singer born in July 1969, starred in the 1997 film Selena, 24th of July. I'm going to read them all again. Castle in which Prince Charles was invested as Prince of Wales. First BBC showing of this sci-fi TV series starring William Shatner. El Salvador invaded this neighbouring country at the start of the football war. Belgian cyclist who won the Tour de France for the first of 5 times. And actress and singer born in July 1969, starred in the 1997 film Selena. Sam and Ellie, over to you.
We're not really sure on many of them, but I think we're going to go for the first BBC showing of this sci-fi series as Star Trek, yeah.
Star Trek, say Sam and Ellie. Star Trek. So, Louise and Lawrence, it's over to you. Can you talk us through that board?
I think the top answer is Carnarvon Castle. Not sure about the El Salvador football war. Belgian cyclist would be Eddie Merckx, I think, and the actress and singer is...
Oh, I think it's Jennifer Lopez.
We're going to go for Eddie Merckx, though.
Yeah.
Eddie Merckx for the Tour de France winner. OK. So, Sam and Ellie went for Star Trek. Let's see if that's right for the sci-fi TV series. Star Trek is absolutely right. Ooh, it's a popular answer there, 74. Louise and Lawrence, meanwhile, have gone for Eddie Merckx, the Tour de France Belgian cyclist. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Eddie Merckx. It's right, and it wins you the point. Very well done. Down it goes to 28, but it wins you the point, crucially, and it means, Louise and Lawrence, after only 2 questions, you are straight through to the final 2-0.
Yeah, brutal head-to-head from Louise and Lawrence. Very well played there. At least you can have a sit-down in a minute, Sam. Should be nice. Now, the castle, you're quite right, is Carnarvon. scored 47 points. The actress and singer, you are absolutely right, Louise, was J-Lo. It's the best answer on the board as well, would have scored you 9 points. And El Salvador invaded Honduras, and that would have scored you 18.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. So the pair leaving us at the end of the head-to-head round, Sam and Ellie, I'm afraid this is it, the end of the road. It's been lovely having you on both shows, and a proper amount we saw of you as well, right through to the head-to-head on both occasions. So very, very well done. But I'm sorry you didn't get to get your hands on a pointless trophy. Anyway, very, very best of luck to you, Sam, and thank you, both of you. Sam and Ellie.
Thank you.
But for Louise and Lawrence, it's now time for our pointless final. Congratulations, Louise and Lawrence. You've seen off all the competition. You have won our coveted pointless trophy. You now have a chance to win our pointless jackpot. And at the end of today's show, the jackpot is standing at £3,250. Well, I mean, you started with can. That was your first answer of the show, scoring 93. And at that point, I'm going to be perfectly honest, I didn't see you here as finalists. But then we had Sedgwick, and we had some fantastic low-scoring answers from you, 2-0 in the head-to-head. No arguing with that. So, yeah, here you are, rightfully, in the final. What do you want to see come up in this round?
From my perspective, sport, film maybe as well, which would be good for Louise too.
Film, specifically Star Wars or Marvel, would be very good.
OK.
Or Strictly Come Dancing.
OK. Well, as always, the 4 things will appear up here. You've got to hope one of them appeals to you. So let's see what today's selection looks like. A Star is Born casts, Team Sport in 2018, Mary Queen of Scots, Grand National horse races in the UK and Ireland. What do you think?
Forget 2 of those.
Yeah, we said film, but I haven't seen any versions of that film.
OK. So, and Mary Queen of Scots, no.
No, I don't know enough, no.
Team Sport or Grand National? It's Grand National, it's over to me.
Grand National, yeah.
Team
Sport,
Sport,
yeah. Depends what it is.
You leaving it to me?
Yeah. Yeah.
Grand National horse races.
OK, you're going to go for the Grand National horse races of UK and Ireland.
OK, very best of luck. We are looking for the name of any horse which has won any of the following 3 races, please. So from 1980 all the way through to 2018, a horse who has won the Irish Grand National, a horse that has won the Welsh Grand National, or a horse that has won the Scottish Grand National. So from 1980 all the way through to the 2018 race, any horse that's won the Irish, Welsh or Scottish Grand National. Very best of luck.
Thank you very much indeed, Richard. Now, as always, got up to 1 minute to come up with 3 answers. All you need to win that jackpot is for just one of your answers to be pointless. Are you ready?
Yes.
OK, let's put 60 seconds up on the clock. There they are. Your time starts now.
Over to you.
Right. Welsh National. Carville's Hill.
OK.
I think Desert Orchid won the Irish Grand National.
I've heard of that one.
But yeah, that would be quite a popular answer if you did win that. Welsh National. I'm not sure on Scottish National. I can't think of any in there at all. Welsh National. Carville's Hill. Struggling.
I only know one horse.
Maybe Cool Ground.
Cool Ground.
Yeah.
I haven't heard of that one.
I can't think of any recent ones at all.
10 seconds left.
That's not true. Maybe the
struggling a
older
bit.
ones will be better.
Yeah, struggling a bit.
Just go for the 3 that you said then.
Okay. Carville's Hill. Desert Orchid.
OK, that is your time up. Sorry, it's never quite long enough, that minute, but what are you going to give me?
Okay, for the Welsh National, Cool Ground.
Cool Ground.
For the Irish National, Desert Orchid.
Desert Orchid.
And for the Welsh National, Carville's Hill.
Carville's Hill. Of those 3, which is your best shot at
Carville's Hill.
OK, Carville's Hill goes last. Least likely to be pointless?
Desert Orchid.
Cool Ground.
Cool Ground, then Desert Orchid goes in the middle. Yeah. OK, well, let's put those answers up on the board in that order then, and here they are. We have got Cool Ground, Desert Orchid, and Carville's Hill. Well, at this stage, they look great, I have to say, those answers. Who knows? Maybe they'll all turn out to be right, and maybe they'll all turn out to be pointless. if one of those were to be pointless and wins you that jackpot, 3,250 quid, not a bad prize to be taking home. What would you like to do with it? Louise, you first.
Well, last year, my boyfriend and I went to Malaysia. He's half Malaysian, so he's got family out there. And it just wasn't long enough, the time that we spent there. So he'd love to go back and maybe add on Thailand or Japan while we're there.
Very nice indeed. Lawrence, how about you?
I enjoy cycling, and I might need a contribution towards a new bike. But also, I hear the Caribbean's very nice any time of year, so a return trip to the Caribbean, perhaps.
Lovely. OK, well, very, very best of luck. 3 good answers, as I say, Louise and Lawrence. Your first answer was Cool Ground. In this case, we were looking for winners of the Welsh Grand National since 1980. If Cool Ground is right and is pointless, you will win £3,250. Let's see how many of our 100 people said Cool Ground. It is right. Now, you weren't expecting that. If Cool Ground goes all the way down to 0, you will leave her with £3,250. Still going down, still going down. You've done it! Look at that! Very, very well done indeed. Brilliant. That's
Thank you.
yeah. Superb.
That's a major surprise, it really is.
Huge congratulations. Cool Ground was a pointless answer, which means you are going home with that jackpot of £3,250. Well done.
Beautifully played. Desert Orchid would have scored you 3. Carville's Hill was also a pointless answer, so very nice.
Very well done.
Very well played. Let's take a look at the pointless answers in the different categories, see if you got one at home. The Irish National, Comanche Court, won by Ruby Walsh. Organised Confusion, that's Nina Carberry. Rhyme and Reason, also won the Aintree National. Timbera. The big scorers there were Our Duke, Desert Orchid, and General Principle and Thunder and Roses. Those are the big scorers. On to the Welsh National. Another Aintree National winner there. Corbière, Monbeg Dude as well. Mountainous, Synchronised, a pointless answer. Native River was the biggest scorer there. And finally, the Scottish National. 2 more horses that won the Aintree National, Summit and Little Polvere, Merigo, Wayward, Prince as well. Vicente was the biggest scorer there. Very well done if you got a pointless answer at home, and congratulations in the studio.
Thanks very much, Richard, and thanks once again to our winning contestants, Louise and Lawrence, who take away today's jackpot of £3,250. Very well done. Join us next time when we'll be putting more obscure knowledge to the test on Pointless. Meanwhile, it's goodbye from Richard.
Goodbye.
And it's goodbye from me. Goodbye.